Mhm. Hi friends, your leadership matters. Yes, your leadership matters in a hybrid or the virtual world. I mean, this virtual in this VUCA world. You as a leader, some of you define VUCA as volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And you are the same leader who find vision, understanding, clarity, and agility. Is that it? Yes. See, particularly this, Goldman's six leadership styles defines leaders are visionary. I mean, those leaders motivate people towards a vision. They always say, "Come with me," and they imbibe self-confidence, empathy, change, and work like catalyst. Then second type of leaders watch in coaching, work like in coaching, developing people for the future. They always say, try this. So they're developing others, creating self-awareness and empathy. The third type of leaders are the affiliative that creates harmony and builds emotional bonds. They prioritize and says people come first. Empathy building, relationship, and communications are the keys. The fourth type of leaders comes as the democratic. So forges consciousness among the people through participations. What do you think? They always adopt the collaboration, team, leadership, and communication. The fifth type of leaders are the pace setters. Set high standards for performance. Do as I do now. So consciousness drive to achieve and initiative. The last but the sixth one is the commanding. Demands immediate compliance. Do what I tell to you. The drive to achieve initiative and self-control. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Goldman sir, for these six types of leadership styles. A number of leaders have asked to throw some light on how the leadership matters, in particularly this hybrid or the virtual world. It's a reasonable question, is not it? So much about how we work is changing, and maybe leadership does too. The truth, however, is that leadership is about knowing people, motivating people, leveraging people's talent, and unlocking people's potential. And so, all the fundamentals of leadership still apply. But you need to work even harder on them. We have said over and over that a leader's purpose is to change the order of things for the better by solving problems. To achieve this purpose, leaders understand the most important ingredient necessary for success is other people's energy, other people's commitment, expertise, understanding, and motivation to make something better. In other words, a leader's job is all about people. It is true that connecting with other people, understanding other people, reading other people, convincing and being convinced by other people is more difficult over a computer screen. So there are so many distractions. Sometimes the camera is not that even on, and we are left wondering why. No matter how good the technology becomes. Looking around a table in a room is vastly different from looking at a screen full of postage stamp size images. And while we cannot completely predict the metaverse, there is no doubt that the virtual reality is coming and will be compelling. Even if we are hiding our true selves behind avatars or a black screen or in a chat room. However, it is a real person's deciding what to do or say. And the human potential is the only limitless resource we have in the world. When human potential is trained, applied, leveraged, and there is literally no problem that can be solved, no goal that cannot be achieved. But maybe kindly repeat it. When human potential is trained, applied, and leveraged, there is literally no problem that cannot be solved, no goal that cannot be achieved. Far from being hyperbole, the history of the world proves these were and every day down through the millennia. True leaders know their highest calling is to unlock this potential and focus it on the festering problems, worthy goals, and the common purpose. And nothing about our technological advancement or new age of working change this. They just make the fundamentals of leadership more difficult, even more important. It is more difficult because people can hide, more difficult because the world of classless distraction, concentrated focus, and energy are harder to sustain. More difficult because misunderstandings and misinterpretations occur more frequently at the same time, are more difficult to uncover and correct. It is more important because people still crave worthy works. More important because people still want to be stressed and challenged, recognized and rewarded. More important because problems are more complex than ever and literally cannot be solved. Much less understood without a collective effort. More important because while possibilities are always endless, choosing to pursue some and executing against goes well in the difference between meaningful progress and meaningful charm. So, in this hybrid, virtual, and meta world, the leadership framework is crucial. Setting clear goals, making strategic choices is even more important because the opportunity for understanding and study effort abounds. Clarity around roles of responsibilities is more important because it is harder to tell when too many people are trying to do the same work, or some people are not doing the right work, or some are not doing enough. So, measuring our progress and holding ourselves accountable for that progress is even more important so that we can have objective, straightforward conversations about where we are going and we are falling short. And those values that sets our team's culture and guide our behaviors when a challenge arises and there is no playbook. The values of integrity or customer service or respect for others, for example, will helpfully be what people fall back and when they are alone with their computer and have a tough call to make. So, as a leader in this complicated, confounding, confusing new world, double down on these fundamentals, communicate more often, not less. Walk the walk and reward others who do so even more deliberately. Seek out others' perspectives more. Ask more questions and listen more. Don't lessen your ambitions about the problems you want to solve or goals you want to achieve. Just recognize that all the other people who need to help you might be harder to reach. That relationship and trust might be harder to build and sustain. That there are even more opportunities for the cross-talk and cross-purposes. Here is what has not changed. Leadership always the catalyst required to solve a festering problem or achieve worthy goals. And leadership always requires courage, character, humility, empathy, collaboration, connection, and cooperation, and a sense of possibility. So I am possible. I am possible to we are possible. The journey begins from the leader. The leader's job is to leverage and focus the talents and potential of others. Even in our technology-driven world, leadership remains a distinctly human endeavor. So great leader live in the present with an eagle's eyes on the short and long-term future. Thank you. Thank you so much.